Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Amy Crane, Social Ad Marketing. So excited that you're here with me today. So for the next 30 minutes, we are going to talk about custom audiences. So the last couple of weeks, we've spent a lot of time on targeting, and that's because targeting is such an important part of your Facebook ad, of your campaign. So that's why I want to talk about custom audiences. It's probably one of the most powerful tools that's available in Facebook advertising, and there's so many ways that you can use it, but I've narrowed it down to 10. So these are my 10 favorite ways to use it. So especially as we're going into 2015 and you're starting to create your marketing plan, these are some things you probably want to keep in mind, you want to think about. So even if you're just getting started, you're new to Facebook advertising, you're just building your list, your website's just, you're not getting a ton of traffic yet, that's okay. I'm going to share a couple things you can do, ways you can use custom audiences. So if you're not as advanced, you don't have a huge list, that's okay. Now, if you do have a bigger list, you've got tons of traffic to your site, I've got some goodies in store for you too. I also got a lot of questions last week about advertising around the holidays because a lot of people are seeing higher costs. Their ads are doing some funky things. So I've saved some time at the end to answer a couple questions I got through email. And of course, if you have questions as we're going through this, be sure to post them in the chat box and I'll be sure to save some time at the end or we'll answer them as they come up. So 10 ways to use custom audiences. So just a quick refresh, a custom audience, there's two types you can use. You can use your email list. So you upload your email list to Facebook and it is going to match your email list with Facebook users. So usually it matches up, anywhere from 50 to 70%. So it's a majority of your list, but it's not going to match up everyone. So once that's uploaded to Facebook, you can then run ads to people that are on your email list. For your website, you get a little piece of code that you can install. You want to install on every page of your website. So when people hit your website, Facebook creates an audience, so you can now target visitors to your website. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying custom audiences. So you can target your email list and you can target website visitors. So Facebook recently did a study that they released, and according to their study, combining Facebook ads plus email led to a 22% increase in likelihood to purchase. So that's a big deal, right? So if you have an email list, and growing your email list should be your number one priority. I don't know anyone that says, oh, no, I'm good with where my email list is. I don't need to grow it anymore. It's fine. Most people are actively growing their email list and they want to keep adding to their email list. So you should always be focusing on that. But the problem is not everyone checks their email all the time, or they get so many emails a day that they skim through, they open a couple, and the rest goes in the trash. So most email lists see about a 15 to 30% open rate. If it's a smaller list, it might have a higher open rate. So you still have 70%, 85% of your list that's not seeing your email. And that's why you want to have a follow-up system in place. And that's where custom audiences come into use, because it's going to let us follow up with these users on Facebook that may or may not be seeing our emails. So this is really important. So this is why you want to start using custom audiences so that you are able to find your customers on Facebook, because the average user checks Facebook 4 times a day. 4 times a day. And if you're a mobile user, it's something crazy. It's something like 12 times a day or something insane. So your customers are on Facebook. So it makes sense to incorporate this into your marketing. All right, so let's dive in and get started. So number 1, obviously stay in front of your list so they never miss a sale or promotion. So that's what I was just talking about with open rates of email lists. Trying to get into someone's inbox now, there's so much competition, right? Like think of how many emails you get a day. I know I get a ton. And even if it's somebody that I love, I always, open their emails. They've got great content. Sometimes there are just days when I'm too busy and I can't read that email, right? But maybe I'm, laying around on the couch later watching TV, playing on Facebook, and I see an ad for a sale or promotion they've got going on. I think, oh yeah, I meant to look at that. I meant to check that out. So I can just click it straight from Facebook and see what they've got going on. So that's why it's so important to, if you've got an email list, you want to upload it to Facebook, create a custom audience so that you can target your list. It's an easy way to stay in front of them. I like to think of it as a friendly reminder. So if they didn't see it in their inbox, at least you have the opportunity to get in front of them on Facebook. Like, hey, here's a really great sale, really great promotion. Just want to let you know it's here so you didn't forget about it. So that's one way to use it. Number 2, guide customers through your sales funnel. So I know this might sound a little technical, or it might be a little overwhelming, especially if you're getting started and maybe you don't have a big sales funnel set up, and that's just fine. You don't need to have anything complicated in place. Basically what this is, if you do have a sales funnel set up, so let's say you offer a PDF or an ebook to people on your list, and then the next step in your funnel is to get them signed up for a webinar. Well, if you're driving people through your funnel, maybe they're not checking those emails, 1, because they're busy, they don't have time to read through all their emails, or 2, they opened the email, they forgot about it, or they got distracted. If you are using custom audiences, you can target them on Facebook to say, hey, come back, you need to sign up for this webinar, I don't want you to miss this. Or if you're sending out promotions for a discount, you're doing a refer a friend, whatever the process is in your funnel, this is just a good, easy way to keep people on track and to gently guide them through that. So they're following the path that you want. They're signing up, they're watching the webinar, they're using that gift or that promotion, that 10% off, they're referring a friend, whatever it is in your funnel, you can help drive them using a custom audience. So the third, this one's really important. Target website visitors that aren't on your list yet. So if you have a website or blog and you're publishing content regularly and you've got a decent amount of traffic to your site, of course you want people to read what you're writing. That's why you're putting it out there. You've got something you want to share with people, something that can make their lives a little bit easier, that can make doing business a little bit easier. You're answering their questions. So you want to make sure that they see it. And so you might be emailing out to your list, but we want to get those people onto our list, right? So they're reading your content on your blog, they're enjoying that content, but for whatever reason, they haven't made it to your list. So how do we get them on that list? When you create your website custom audience and you've got that installed on every single page, now you can target those people and say, hey, you enjoy reading my content, why don't you sign up for my email list so you never miss out? So you always know when I've got a new blog post up, or I've got a new free training, or, a really cool sale or promotion, whatever it is. But you want to get them on your list because, like I said, building your email list is one of the most important parts of your business, is having that in place. So you want to have that follow-up system to get those website visitors to your list, right? Because we want to target them on Facebook, but we also want to be able to email out to them and reach out to them in their inbox. So that's why that is so important. Number 4, drive traffic to your site, latest blog post. So this is what I was kind of talking about before, and these two really go hand in hand. So it's really just one big, almost like a funnel. We want to get them on our list. We want to make sure they're going to our website because you spend, how much time do you spend creating your content? Most of us spend a good bit of time coming up with the ideas, writing the blog posts, creating the videos, creating the free training. So you want to make sure people see it. I don't know, maybe you are one of those people, you just want to put it out there, and that's fine. But for the most part, most of us want people to read what we're sharing because we think we have something that people really could find valuable and find helpful. So when you post your new blog post and you go over to Facebook and you're like, hey guys, we're this awesome Facebook post, you definitely need to read it, you want to check it out, and you post it, you want to promote that and you want to turn that into an ad so that you can target your email list and you can target your visitors to your website. And a couple reasons why. So if you email out to your list and tell them, hey, here's my latest blog post, check it out. Like I said, they may not see that email. But if you post it to Facebook and you're running ads to them, chances are they'll click on it. So these are people that already know you. They already like you. They've been on your website. They're on your list. They like what you have to say. They find your content valuable. And so we want to make sure that they see it, because if we're just posting and posting and posting and no one's seeing anything, what's the point, right? So it's a really great way to drive traffic to your site, to your blog post. Or if you've got, let's say you've got a new free training, you've got a free webinar, this is the perfect targeting group for your webinar, because they already know you, they've been reading your posts, so they're going to be most likely to convert. So if you compare this list to just targeting interest, people that don't know you, especially if it's a blog post. I always think it's weird when I'm on Facebook and a blog post from some random person, I don't know them, I'm not on their list, I've never been on their website. When that pops up in my newsfeed, I'm always like, I wonder like how I got in the mix here. Like, what are they targeting? Because I don't know this person. I'm probably not going to click on it unless it's something really, really catchy. But for the most part, I always think that that's kind of funny. But if it's someone that I know, it's someone I'm on their list, I read their blog, if I see that in my newsfeed, done. I always click on it, I read it, just, even if I don't have time, I'll just skim through it just to make sure, that I'm not missing out on anything. I don't want to miss out on anything. So it's really important. It helps you drive traffic to your site, your blog post, a free training, another free offer, whatever it is, this is one of your main targeting groups right here, your email list and your website, because they already know you. Number 5, deliver content based on which page of your website they visited. So this is really cool, because if you are, let's say you're a retail site and you sell men's clothes and you sell women's clothes, but you want to offer a sale just on women's shoes. Well, it wouldn't make sense to target your whole website, because I'm pretty sure most guys aren't going to be interested in buying women's shoes. And if they are, you know what, more power to them. But for the most part, you probably want to target women that are people that have been on that page, because chances are they're women and they're interested in buying those shoes. So you've got this crazy awesome sale or promotion going on. You can target just the people that visited your page. Or maybe you're a coach or a consultant and you work with different niches. Maybe you work with real estate agents and insurance agents, and you've got a new free offer just for real estate agents. So you wouldn't want to target everyone. You don't want to target the insurance agents because they're not interested. They're not in real estate. They have no idea what this program, it's not going to help them, right? But if you could just target the real estate agent, the page that's set up for real estate agents, that's a highly targeted group. Those are people that have checked that page out for one reason or another, and you can weed out the people that aren't going to be interested in your offer. So it's really cool, because you can create custom content just for these different niches within your business. So whether it's a blog post or it's a free training or a product or program, you can tailor your targeting based on the pages on your site that they visited. So think about that a little bit. Think about your business. Think about the different niches within your business, the people that you work with, and how you can cater to them, how you can deliver content that's geared just for them. So when people are seeing content that really appeals to them and it's relevant to them, they're more likely to click it, they're more likely to consume it. And that's the big thing, because if they're consuming your content down the road, if they need help with something, or if they're going to work with somebody, you're going to be number one in their mind. So play around with that. Think about different ways that you can target your different niches, your different customers, and you can gear content to them. Number 6, retargeting. I'm sure you've heard a lot about this. This is one of the big things that people usually talk about when they talk about custom audiences, and that's retargeting. Basically, what this lets us do is we're going to bring back our lost buyers. So, it's one thing to send out an email and say, hey, buy this. And if you don't send any follow-up emails, you're going to miss out on a lot of sales, right? So that's what we're going to do on Facebook. We're going to help bring back some of those lost buyers. You'll add your pixels to your landing page, your opt-in, or your landing page and your opt-in page, whichever one you're using, and your thank you page. Because if you add it to your thank you page too, say you're selling a product, you now have a targeted group of people that have bought from you. So now you have a customer list. So if you've got a similar product that they might be interested, you could then show ads to them because they've already bought. Say, hey, you like this, maybe you should check this out too. So there are some cool things you can do with that. That's why you want to put it on all of your pages. So what this is going to do, so if someone hits your landing page or your opt-in page and they bounce off, they don't sign up, they don't buy for whatever reason, maybe their phone rang, they got distracted, their cat walked across their computer and closed out of the screen. I know that happens to me a lot, but for whatever reason, they forgot maybe they meant to buy and they just got distracted. So when you are able to target them on Facebook and show these ads to them, the chances of them coming back are higher, right? So this is going to help up your conversions. You should see a lower cost associated with these conversions because they're people that already know you. They've already kind of checked it out. 2, most people aren't going to buy on the first go around, especially if it's a higher price point product, right? So sometimes they're just looking, they're checking it out, they're scoping it out, they want to see what it's about, they're going to think about it. Maybe they're comparing it to another product that's similar. So that's why you want to be sure to follow up with them, because if they're in that thinking process and then you pop out an ad shows up in their newsfeed that says, hey, listen, you've got 24 hours and this deal's going away, right? Or, this is going to be 50% off for the next 48 hours, and you get them to take that action, then you're able to bring them back. You're able to bring that back to the page and turn them into customers. So that's why retargeting is so important. It's going to help you bring those people back instead of just letting them click and then bounce off and go wherever it is that they're going. All right, so this is a cool one. Use Audience Insights to learn more about your customers. So if you've got a smaller list, you're not going to be able to use this just yet. You have to have, I think it's a minimum of 1,000 that you need to have in your custom audience. So, if your email list isn't that big, or you're not getting that much traffic to your site, you'll have to hang on for a little bit, right, till you get those numbers. But what you can do, if you haven't played around with Audience Insights, you need to check it out because it's awesome. So when you're in Audience Insights, there's a section there to upload custom audiences. So you would select the custom audience, whether it's your email list or your website, and it will give you all of this information about your list or your visitors to your site. It'll tell you, what age they are they male, female, where do they live, what other pages do they like, what are their spending habits. I mean, it's crazy the amount of information that's in there. And as a marketer, that's a total gold mine, right? Because one, we have an idea in our head of who our customers are, who we think our customers are. But sometimes, we might be attracting a different niche that maybe we hadn't thought about, or we've got a different group. We're attracting different people than we originally thought. And that's pretty cool to see, because then you can tailor your message, you can tailor your marketing. And sometimes maybe you're dead on. You're getting the exact people you thought you were, and all is good and all is great. But it just gives you so much information on your list, on your visitors, who you really are attracting. So like I said, if you've got a bigger list, you've got a lot of traffic to your site, definitely play around with this just to check in and see it. It might give you some ideas as far as different targeting options. Maybe you've got more of one group on your list than you thought you did, and so you can start to tailor some content towards them. But there's a ton of information in there, and there's some really cool things I think you'll find, and you might even find surprising. So play around with your Audience Insights just to learn a little bit more about who's actually on your list. Number 8, re-engage website visitors. So one of the options when you are creating a custom audience, you can actually select to bring back visitors that haven't been back to your site in 30 days, up to 180 days. So this is cool. I know I do this all the time. I'm playing around on the internet. I'm looking for articles or whatever. I find a cool blog. I really dig it. But for whatever reason, I close out of that tab. I walk away. I completely forget about it. And then I'm sitting there racking my brain. Like, what was the name of that blog? I wish I could find it again. Well, if they're smart and they're using Facebook ads, hopefully in a couple of days, I'll see an ad for that blog in my news feed, and I'll get super excited, say, yep, that's the blog. I'll click on it. I'll go sign up for their emails. That way I don't forget about it again. So it's a cool tool for that as well. So you can bring back people that maybe hit your website, read a couple posts, and then for whatever reason, they just never came back. But you've got good stuff to share. And if they found your website once, chances are they will come back, but maybe they just forgot. They don't know where you are. They forgot the name of your business. They don't know your URL, whatever. So it's going to help you bring back those visitors. And once you've got them back, then you can get them on your email list. You can start to show ads for your blog post or your free training. So you can keep them engaged and you can keep them coming back. So it's a really important tool for getting people back to your list and keeping them engaged. Number 9, create a lookalike audience. So if you are just getting started on Facebook and let's say you don't have a big list yet, your list is still pretty small, you want to create a lookalike audience, because to create a custom audience, you have to have a minimum of 100 people, okay? So if, let's say you've got a list of 150 and then when you upload that to Facebook, it only pulls 75, you're not going to be able to use that list. And if your list size is only, 200, 300, that's probably too small of a targeting group to use. So what you want to do instead is create a lookalike audience. What a lookalike audience does is it's going to take your list or your website, your list of website visitors, and it's going to find the people, the 1% of Facebook users that are most like your list. So it's going to find, you can use this for your fans. So if you've already built up your Facebook page, maybe you've got a really great Facebook page, you've got a couple thousand fans, they're all your target market, they're all your ideal client, you've worked really hard to build up this page. You can create a lookalike audience based on your fans. You can create one based on your email list or your website visitors. So this is going to be a pretty targeted group of people. They're going to like the same things. They are going to spend the same type of money. They're going to take the same type of action. So it's going to be a really targeted list. And in my experience, the lookalike audience are almost always a stronger list than just targeting by interest alone. But that's not always true. But in most cases, it's a really strong targeting group. So that's why you want to test that out. So if you don't have thousands of people on your email list and you're not getting thousands of hits a day on your website, that's okay. Upload your custom audience, create a lookalike audience, use that to build your list and to get people to your website, to drive traffic to your site. And then once your list is bigger and you've got more traffic to your site, then you can use a custom audience. Number 10, exclude certain groups from your targeting. So this is a pretty cool option now that Facebook, when you are targeting and you create a custom or you select a custom audience to target, you can also exclude an audience. So let's say you are trying to bring back some lost buyers. You're selling this program. You've got a list of people that have already bought, and then you've got your list of people that have shown interest in the product. So what you'd want to do is you would want to exclude the people that have already bought, because they already bought. They're good. They've got the program or the product. They don't need to see your ad anymore, right? And if you're showing your ad to them, it's just a waste of money because they've already bought. They have gone through that process. They are good to go. So excluding certain groups, that's going to save you money. It's going to make your targeting better, and you're really just narrowing down to the people that are interested. You could do the same thing if you're running ads for your email list. You can exclude your current email subscribers, so you're not showing the same ads over and over to people that are already on your list, because that's a waste of money. They're on your list. They're not going to sign up again, or they might, but they're already on it. So exclude certain groups from your targeting. So that is number 10, that is the last one. So those are 10 ways you can use custom audiences. And there are plenty of other things you could do with them. That's why you should go in, play around, see what you get, come up with some ideas, brainstorm. You don't need to take all 10 of these and implement all 10 at once, because that could be a little overwhelming. So pull the couple or pull one or two that make sense for your business and where you are right now. Put those into place, and then as you're growing, as your list is growing, your traffic's growing, then you can start to play with some of the others. But just pick out maybe one or two that make sense to you, that seem like they would fit into your business plan, and play with those and then see what happens. So I wanted to talk real quick because a lot has come up over the last week just on Facebook ads for the holidays and what people should expect to spend and why is my cost so high. So just so you guys know, this is the biggest time of year on Facebook, obviously, because everyone's gearing up for the holidays. So you've got a lot of competition right now. Facebook limits how many ads can be seen. And so now you're competing for those. There's a few slots. And so you've got a lot of competition for those few slots, right? So your ad cost is going to be higher. Some people are seeing, double the cost, maybe even triple the cost that they were when they were running ads, before the holiday season kicked off. And, retailers, this is their main time, right? So if you're in e-commerce, if you're retail, a majority of your advertising budget is reserved for this time of year. And they've taken that into account, right? They know they're going to be spending a little bit more money over the next few weeks because it's their biggest time of the year. If you don't have a big push right now, let's just say you got a couple ads going, you're just trying to get people on your email list, you might see that number go up. Or if you're just starting your ads now, they might be higher than they would be if you had started them a couple months ago, or if you wait and launch them, in January or February when it's kind of died down. So just be aware of that and keep an eye on your ads too, because your costs might start to go up just because there is more competition now. I had one question that came in about ads. Their ads kept taking off and then tanking. And so they would upload another set of ads and they would take off and then it would tank after a couple of days. And so there are some funky things that are going on right now. So that's why you really want to keep an eye on your ads. And these were ads that had been up and running, and they'd had a successful campaign they'd been running the same ad for a few months and it worked great. And then it'd been pulling in their target market and all this good stuff. And then, the last 2 weeks or so, it started to do some funky things. So definitely keep an eye on your ads just to see, if the holidays are affecting you or not. If you've got a really, really strong ad that's been running for a while, you probably won't see a lot of change there. Your costs might go up a little bit, but it's probably not going to go up a lot. So yeah, so just keep an eye on that. All right, and one quick question. Okay, so this is a good question. So if you have uploaded your custom audience to Facebook and you've got a small number, so let's say you've got like 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000, and Facebook tells you that it's too small of a targeting group to target, you can still run that ad. It's not going to tell you that you can. It's just telling that you've got a very specific group. So if you have created a custom audience and it's small, that's okay. You can still test it out. I've ran some pretty successful campaigns with really small groups. So my advice is to test it out and see. You could still, especially if it's retargeting, if you're trying to bring people back, those audiences are usually a lot smaller. But they already know you, so you've got that working for you. So I definitely think you should still test it out. So if you don't have, a huge custom audience, if it's not like 10,000, 20,000, whatever, still test it out and just see what you get. Let it run for, maybe 2 days or so. And if it doesn't work, that's fine. Just stop it. And if it is working, that's great. So, but the minimum you have to have is 100. So you can't use a list smaller than 100. But if you've got, 300 or 400, that is going to be kind of hard to work with. So I would just create a lookalike audience if it is that small of an audience. Okay, so hopefully that answers that question. So we're out of time, and I hope you guys can take this. I hope you can use this. You can start to incorporate this into your plan. And if there are any topics or questions you have that you want to see covered on our upcoming weekly webinars, you can just send me an email, amy@sociallabmarketing.com. I always reply, and I love getting emails. So just let me know. Let me know what you want to hear about, or if there are any questions that you have, and I might cover them on one of our upcoming webinars. So that is it for today. I hope you guys have an awesome Tuesday, and I will see you here again next week at the same time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Have a good week, everybody.